Hello everyone. July 26th. You look so good. Alright, let's do this. What we have, maximum running time of n computers most likely. I have no clue what this one is. I think I've not done this one before. Oh my god, look at this. Oh, I might have done this. It's a battery, right? Looks familiar. You have n computers and give an integer n and a zero indexed array. Batteries where the ith battery can run a computer for batteries I minutes. You are interested in running all n computers simultaneously using the given batteries. Initially, you can insert at most one battery into each computer. Yeah, I think I've done this before. You can insert at most one battery into each computer. After that, and at any integer time moment, you can remove a battery from a computer and insert another battery any number of times. The inserted battery can be a totally new battery or a battery from another computer. You may assume that the removing and inserting process takes no time. Note that the batteries cannot be recharged. Return the maximum number of minutes you can run all the n computers simultaneously. So, example number one, we have two computers, 3 batteries, and we can run them for 4 minutes. How? Wait, how much does the battery take? Can run a computer for battery ISO. This can run for 3 minutes. 3 minutes. So I run for 1 minute. No, I run for 2 minutes. Then I can run for 1 minute, and this is gone. And then I can run for 1 minute. Ah, interesting. After 2 minutes, remove battery 1 from the second computer and insert battery 2. Ow, 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 ah! Come on, Jimbo. Why you bite me? And at the end of the 3rd minute, battery 0 is drained, and you need to remove it from the first computer and insert battery 1 instead. By the end of the 4th minute, battery 1 is also drained, and the first computer is no longer running. You can run the 2 simultaneous for almost 4 minutes. Okay. And this is only 2 because we're going to do this and then do this. Boom. Alright. Binary search. Because yesterday was binary search, so most likely today is binary search as well. How would you binary search? So we want to find the maximum number of minutes, right? So we say, given the number of minutes, we just want to see if it's possible to run all the computers given these batteries. And how do we check that? Well, we have 2 computers and we have 3 batteries. Let's say we want to run them for 1 minute, right? How do you check if we can run them for 1 minute? Well, run them for k minutes. How do you check? Well, if you want to run them for k minutes, then no matter how you swap them, right? No matter how you swap them, some battery need to run. Like in this case, the first, like these, has to run for this. Basically, you're splitting this, right? You're splitting this into k, right? You're splitting this into k, and k can be larger than these values, right? K can be larger than every single battery value, and you want to know if you can split or you can group these into n groups with the total values, the sum will be larger you go to k, right? How would you do that? Well, we can sort it, okay? Right, we can sort it. After we sort it, I say V0, let's call it B0, B1, B2, all the way to M batteries, and then they're going up. So we want to find out if it's possible to split this into K. Well, if it's bigger than K, then we're always good. So we want to look at the smallest. Okay, so we look at the smallest. So we want to add something to it such that we can make it into K. Right? We have to make it into K. Well, what we can do, you know what we can do is all the big ones, right? All the big ones. Oh, what if we don't have big ones? Huh? What if we don't have big ones? Well, for one thing, we can add everything together, right? Add everything together divided by the number of this. It's like this, 333 is 9. 9 divided by 2 equals 4.5, right? Equals 4. We can do integer division, which means 4 is the maximum. This is the maximum you can do, right? The maximum you can do. Because the total number is 9 minutes. You can supply, in total is 9 minutes. And here is saying the total is 4 minutes. And you can supply 2. So the maximum you can run is 2 minutes. So we have the max, right? And you can have the min. The min shall be the minimum number of all the batteries, right? The minimum. So you have a max and have a min. And then if the K will a lot larger because I have the max and min. So I already have a max and min. All we need to do is to check the K. So it will be something, larger than K, something smaller than K. So what we want to know is, in that case, we go for the smallest. I say I need this much. But that much can be supplied by others or supplied by, so maybe it's better to go from large because the large can do K by itself. Okay, so if the large can do K by itself, not necessarily. I just say K equal to 4, right? Now K equals to 4. I have 333. How do I check if it's possible? So I say, maybe I just greedy, not greedy, just go through it. Like the first one needs 3, so I need 1. So current gap is -1, right? And I go to the next one. So next one I have 2. Right? But isn't that, it means you can always find the solution? Yeah, it's not gonna work because we have to supply both at the same time, right? We have to have N running at the same time. Yeah, we have to have N running at the same time, so we need to pick N of them, right, to run at the same time. And and you cannot run out because you run out, you only have 1 left, so you cannot supply it. All we need to know is if it's possible, right? So we can say we run 1 minute, okay? And then first of all, if we have fewer number of batteries than the number of laptops, that is not happening. But the battery is always larger equal to, okay? So The battery is always good. So I can pick, let's say I pick a group, okay, and everybody loses one, and then yeah, how do you say that it's possible? Can we say that if we even out the distribution of the thing, the batteries, it'll always be the best strategy? Can we do that? Like even it out? If we sorted it and we go smallest, we take one, then we no. How do we make sure that a certain number of minutes will work? How? Let's observe again in this case. In this case, one goes 2 minutes. And then we take 1 minute from somebody else. And this one can take 1 minute. And then we take another 1 minute. So basically we're doing 3 3 3. We split it into two. No, first round we have 1 1 3, right? And then wait, hold on. So what we do is 2 plus 1 plus 1 and 3 plus 1. This is what we're doing. The first laptop, I go 2 minutes on one, and then 1 minute on the other one, and 1 minute on the other one. The second one, I go 2 minutes. Hold on, actually not right. It's 2 minutes on one, right? And then 1 minute, then 1 minute. Maybe we need greedy, something like greedy. When you go 3 3 3, well, like if you can go all the way down, you should go all the way down. But if we go all the way down here, we only have one left. That's why we cannot go all the way down here. And if we always go from small to large, because the best scenario is we use up all the batteries. So using up battery is good, right? We want the result shall be we have as little remaining as possible. So if we have some battery, we use up until we just use them up. Okay? We just use them up. Because if we have 2 batteries and 2 laptops, right, if they're the same, right? If the number of laptops and the number of batteries are the same, then the question is very simple. You just run down the smallest, because I don't think there's another way. Yeah, you can move around, it doesn't really matter, because eventually one will go down first. So yeah, that's it. If it's the same number, that's it. So if I have a list of batteries from low to high, and I focus on the first few smaller batteries, and then we run them down, okay? Now of course, if after you run them down, you don't have anything left, right? Like in this case, if I run down all three, then you don't have anything left, then you're wasting. Yeah, you're wasting whatever it is. So you're wasting the opportunity, because this one cannot be split. So what you need is to make sure after you run it down, you still have something left. So if you run down the small ones, right, and you still have some left, then you should run it down, and you have some left, and you just, move on to that, right? You move on to that, and then you run it down, and you move on, you run it down, and then see if it's possible to hit K. If you if you run it down, then you don't have enough, so you have run it down until there's only one. Then what? Then you move on. You still move on. You move on to the next part, and you run it down. Yeah, you run it down, but because at that point, when you run it down, you still have something left, right? You still have something left, and then you will. So in this case, right, we can say we run it down, so we have 1, 1, 3, so we got plus 2. Then so we run down these two, then we run down these two. These two can only run down 1, so with plus 1. This becomes 0, 2. So now we run down these, plus 1. Then we have 0, 0, 1. Okay, but how are we supposed to do this? So we cannot just run down. It doesn't take it too long. You have a window, right? You go through every single thing, you minus, minus, minus. Okay? Then you move on to the next one. Then you go minus, minus, minus. Move on to the next one, you go minus, minus, minus. So every single one you will run, twice. Well, if every single one only run twice, maybe that's not too bad, right? Because the sliding window, as you move, right, you're gonna hit this once, you hit again. Yeah, your sliding window, every value will hit. No, some value will hit more times than the other, but that's gonna be because you have to go through everything in the middle, right? So that's OMN. I don't think that's OMN will work. So you gotta find a smarter way. So everybody need to remove some value. Everybody need to remove some value. If I have an array of values and I say in a range I want to remove some value, in a range I want to remove some value. Yes, you can, but you need to first know what is the smallest value in this range. Well, I know the smallest value in this range, right? You're giving me a range, and what we say is we will start from the first window. We will decrease everybody from the first value. right? And when we're done, we'll move on to the next. But it doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel right. What else can you try? What else can you try? I mean, we're only trying to see if K works, right? That's the only thing we're trying to see if K works. I mean, to make K work, I can say I need and any minute, right? At any minute, I need to have K. I need to have n batteries available, right? At any minute, there has to be n batteries. So okay, I have n batteries, and in the next minute, I need to have still n battery available. So I can have certain number of batteries. Okay. It should be easy, right? If we want to do it this way. Or maybe we can try to see what's the scenario that is not possible. If we can find out what is not possible, it's also going to work. What would be not possible? Like a K is large, right? K is large. K is too big, right? If K is too big, what will be the scenario when it's not possible? Well, everybody try to hit, right? I hit, and then what will be the case that it's not possible? And what we want is there's always going to be, no matter how you move them around, they're always going to be n computer, n batteries that is not 0. Right? So N battery is not 0. N battery is not 0. So N battery is not 0. Initially, yes, but then we want to know after k minutes, can we still have N batteries that's not 0? Well, it's actually k minus 1 minute, right? We want k minus 1 minute. Then it's still, we have, so the first question is 4. So we should say after 3 minutes, there shall still be 2 batteries, not 0. Right? How do you do that? After 3 minutes. So we can say after 1, after 2. Right, after that, however many minutes, we still have, okay? And then we can, so we do first round, taking that away. And then we do the second round, taking that away. So all the way keep going until we have, let's say, like until we have a scenario, either we have the number of batteries is equal to the number of computers. That's a trivial case. Or yeah, that's a trivial case. There's no way you can move around. Or you have a case like this, right? Like if I have another 1, then yeah, I can run these down, no problem. But we just don't have enough. Okay, we don't have enough, and if we run down the current when we have too few, right? That's the difficult case. So when that case is presented, we can run down. We definitely cannot run down to 0. So we run down till there's only 1 left. Okay. Now when that happens, then we need to move on to the next one, to the next group. Right? Basically, one of them gets saved, so I can tap into the remaining. Because if I use it all of them, so we get like a 1 situation, okay? And then I need to tap into, because I want to use the remaining. So I go ahead and I use the remaining. So how much remaining can I use? If I use everybody down to 1, okay? Now I have some remaining. Then I go for the remaining, and we can use however much the remaining, but we can only use 1 on the remaining. Right? We use 1. We can only tap 1 from the remaining. Wait, hold on. How many can we tap from the remaining? Because if we use the remaining, and the remaining cannot supply the current number of computers. So some of the computer will use the fresh, and some will use the previous one, right? Some use the fresh, some use the previous one, and then the previous one will be exhausted, right? Previous one will be exhausted. So when the previous one gets exhausted, I can go for the one left over, can supply it again. Then we can keep going. So what you're saying is, if I have some remaining, right? I have some remaining. But aren't we calculating it directly? That's the thing. I feel like we're calculating directly. We're not even doing binary search, right? We're not even doing it. We're just trying to reason it out. We're trying to find out what's the maximum running time directly, right? That's what we're doing. We're trying to reason it, but I don't think we shall reason this. This doesn't sound like the right approach. Because what if you have lots of laptops? Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna cheat a little bit by playing around with this. So what if I have 4 laptops? Okay, then I have this. I mean, in my mind, if I have this situation, right? I have a 3, 3, 3, 3. 3, wait a second, 5 batteries, and n equal to 4. So I say I run it down to 1. And then I'll swap to this. And I can run 1. But then that's it. I don't have any more. So that shall be 3. That is 3, right? But it doesn't feel right. It does not, okay? It does not feel right. I mean, you have to run 4. You have to run all the computers, right? You have to run all the computers down to the end. But if you run them down, so basically, if you run them down, I can basically run them down to all 0. And it's okay, because even if we leave something, right? Even if we leave something, the remaining, this works because we leave something, and the remaining and this, we can supply it. So basically, if you think about it, this one does run down the first. Yeah, run down the first, it's this one. It does not run down. So run down some on this, some on this. So by the time, so we have 3 supply this. We basically use 3 plus 3 to supply the other. So that's 6, right? We use 6 to supply 1 laptop, 3 to supply 1. And by the time we run down 3, we don't run down everything. We do a 1 plus 2. Right? We do a 1 plus 2. We run down 2 on one or 1 on the other. So then we have 2 batteries. So I can supply 1 here. And we can continue. So we get a little bit more out of it. Can we, you know what? I need to feed my cat. And I need to think about it again. Can we make this... I still think we need to think about the binary search. But, but the possibility part is just doesn't make sense to me. Right? It does not make sense. And we want to check if a certain value is possible, and then it becomes so hard to check if it's possible. How can we check if it's possible? Well, if you want to check if it's possible, you can say one of them will run something down and needs another thing, and it needs another thing. Right? That's how you can do. Alright, it's fine to run down first, and run down the second, and run down the third. So in the 3-3-3 scenario, you say it's 4 possible. If you just say if there's 3 possible, 3 is possible. But you want to have this 4 possible. I say okay, then if for 4 to be possible, we need the first one to run a 3 down, right? And then we need to run a 1, second one to run a 1. Right? Which means we need to do, let's say, a 3 and a 1. So we have 2 and 5 left. 2 and 3 left for the other. We're not calculating this because it's not right. We have to have it simultaneously. Not sequential, simultaneously. Simultaneously. That's the catch. Simultaneous is the catch. How do we handle simultaneous? Yeah, can't even solve the simplified problem. Is it possible to run n computers for k minutes simultaneously? Is that possible? And I was thinking, is it possible to say split up the values? Right? Split up the values up such that we can, but yeah, the thing is you cannot split up. You just cannot. You cannot split up. Again, if I run down the current one, I'm still thinking about this. If I run down the current one, okay, to the minimum, where the minimum reaching 0, if I do that, right, if I do that, then I have however many that's left, right? I will know however many I have left. That's fine. I have however many is left. And I try to find, if I use the remaining, do I still have enough? If I do, I just do it. And I keep going, until there will be a point when I run down the current, smallest down to 0. I try to expand to the next, and then boom, I don't have enough. Right? You don't have enough. You run down the current, and you don't have enough batteries to support them, continue running. So when that happens, then you need to play a little bit trick, right? So you say, okay, how about I don't run down everything to the minimum. I don't run down to the minimum. if I don't run down to the minimum, and I need to include some, I will include new things, then some of the old will be to be in this, right? So then I run down to the end, right? I did run down to the end. And then I'll have certain number of batteries that's gone, right? But it will be fewer than previous. So previous, let's say, have 3 batteries have the lowest charge, and if I run down, I will lose 3. But if I don't run them down, right? I don't run them down, and I move on to the next one. Let's say I have 2 more, right? So I include 2 more. Then I run down. Then I lose 1, right? I lose 1. Then I can supply with the previous 2, right? The previous 2, I have 2 more, right? So I have 3 batteries. We don't run them down, okay? And then I added 2, and I sacrificed 1. So now I can move 1 in and move 1 in. Right? This is kind of how I'm thinking how it might work. I move 1 in and I move 1 in. But it still don't feel right. You move 1 in, and you move 1 in. And what do you mean by you move 1 in? It's like sliding window. Sliding window. Okay? You go. You smallest, biggest, how many smallest, you move forward, okay? Then you will go down to the bottom, right? So you're losing however many, and you see if you can replenish. If you can replenish, restart here, you go forward, that's good. Then you keep going. Now you keep going. If you cannot replenish, right? If you cannot replenish, so yeah, you have these much, so you check if you can replenish. If you cannot replenish, so on the right hand side, it means you cannot replenish, and on the current side, you will decrease until you have 1 left, right? Then you increase, you add those on the right hand side. You add those on the right hand side. You add those on the right hand side, okay? What if you only have 1 you can add on the right hand side? If you can only add 1, so you give it 1, but you have a lot more, so you do that, then you lose everything. So I think we should sort it from large to small. Right? We sort it from large to small. Not really sort it, it's small to large, but we go from the right half, so it's the biggest, right? We go down, down. Then we will lose some, right? And once we lose some, then we will replenish. We try to replenish on the left hand side. Uh, okay, we start from large to small. Okay, we have large, and we decrease. Once we decrease, where the small ones gets exhausted. Okay, now we know we need to replenish. How many to replenish? Well, we see if there's enough. If there's enough, we replenish those, and we continue decrease. Still, don't feel right. All right, it's been 46 minutes. I need to check the hints. Yes, binary search. I know sorting. I know binary search. So I probably need some greedy when you check. Yeah, the problem is just I don't know how to check. That's the thing. I don't know how to check. I know it's binary search, but how do I check? How do I check if K, right? Can you run K? K minutes. Can you run give 333? Can you run 4 minutes? Like how? How? I can say, alright, we'll run some for some minutes. Let's just check the hint. Exactly, this is the problem. I don't know. I do not know. Can you determine if it's possible? And then you can binary search. But how do we know this? For a given runtime, to run all simultaneously. That's the thing I don't know. I just need to solve this. I knew. That's what I need to solve. K equal to 4. Is this possible? This is it. This is the thing. How do I check this? How do I check this? So if I want to run 4 simultaneously, so I need to have, as am I saying, we need to have 2 batteries, right? 2 batteries non-zero for 3 times, for 3 time points, right? So now it gives me some batteries. So we have these batteries. Let's say we sort them small to large. Can we know that any 2 batteries or any, this is actually n batteries can be non-zero for k minus 1 times? Well, can we say 1 time? Yes. Okay. So if I know that it can be due 1 time, can we know 2 times? Yes. But there's got to be a, there got to be a, gotta be a way to find this easily. How? if we go from high to low, okay, from high to low, say, can we hit? But most likely it cannot, because if the high can, then we will decrease it already. So if the highest one, or the highest n, right? If the highest n, or like this one, is smaller than k minus 1, it's smaller than k basically, right? If this one is smaller than k, that means we cannot run for k minutes simultaneously just by doing this. But we know these two can, so we just need to handle this one, right? We just need to handle this one. And that would be trouble, because as long as we have something left, we can just supplement in. So that's good. So what if we have 2 that's smaller than k? This one we don't have to. Ooh. Nice. I got stuck. That's pretty tough. What if I have 2 that cannot do? What if I have 2 cannot do? So we need to supplement this in. Now if we have 2 left, then we basically just finish this and then we go for this, right? We just or maybe we can run them, I don't know, just if it's this case, it's evenly distributed, so we can, smallest plus the biggest, second smallest plus this, then we can get, right? We'll be able to find, as long as we have enough left. So what if we don't have enough left? What if we have only 1 left, or all of them are smaller than k? So now we have 3 that's smaller than k. Okay, then we only have 2 left, so we cannot supply everybody. So maybe what we can do is, while we're doing this, we can just push this in, do some, push this in, do some, push this in. So that's a kind of like a rotating idea, right? Like a rotating idea. But how does this rotating idea work? Right? How does it work? So basically you can say, okay, as we go, right, I can swap out this, push this one in, right? Swap out, swap in. And then I can swap out, swap in. But they're all smaller than k, right? They're all smaller than k. So if we go, 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 yeah, if they're all smaller than k, then it's determined by, what if they're all smaller than k? If they're all smaller than k, how does this swapping work for this one? Again, we have 3, 3, 3, right? We want 4. And we have these 2. They can only get 3, right? They can only get 3, but we have another one here. So we're trying to move this one in. How do? We go down to 1, right? And then I don't use this anymore. I use the bigger one. We get down to 1. And I use the bigger one, so I save this. Now this get down to 2. This go to 0. Now we have 1 left. That's 3, right? But that means when we hit something to 0, we basically leave something open. So that's why we can hit this one more time. So in this case, we hit something to 0. Okay, we hit something to 0, but when we hit it to 0, we leave something open. Okay, we leave something open, and we use somebody else. So we have 3 that's all small, right? And then we go. And as we go, we have this the smallest, let's say, the smallest has 1 left. Okay? And then when that happens, we'll swap the battery. We swap whatever we have with this. Right? We swap with whatever we have with this. Then I do one more. So this one will be gone. But we basically save these. We save these by using that. And then I'll swap back. So this one, the smallest one, can use these, and then we can do one more. Are you telling me we can only squeeze out one more out of this? That's not really one more. It depends on how much we have left, right? I mean, in this case is one more because after we do the swap, the smallest is 1. Telling me to stack it. It's been an hour. I don't know. Check the solution. Have we done this before? We have. Is this in our list? No. I think I saw this on my own. Yep, I saw this on my own last time. Come on, man. Now I cannot see the solution because I solved this last time by myself. Ugh. Dude, I solved this last time by myself. It doesn't look complicated at all. Okay, if I sort it this way, okay, so given the largest one, we say this one requires one additional, right? We need one additional. How can we split out one? Well, we can split out one by use this until there's one left, right? Okay, so we know we need to use something. We can say the smallest until there's one left. So we do that and we have one left, and then this one will get to supply that the next round. That's not true. because no, it's okay. So we will use that. We use whatever amount, right? And then this battery will go here. Okay, well, this battery will go here. So now we need something to swap in. Okay, we have something to swap in. Now what? Now we need to find this. How much we need for this? So we have, the largest one needs some. Okay, so we try to get the smallest, produce it, supply the largest. And the second largest needs some as well. Then we basically keep running, right? We keep running, so the smallest keep running, so we supply for this, and then we keep running. Still doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Alright, I give up. Prefix sum. Bisect. Battery needed. Battery supply. Battery extra. Prefix sum. This is correct. This is also correct. Binary search for the mid. I mean, from index to the end is fine. So if n minus this is larger than, then we have enough batteries. Yes, that's fine. If not, I have the number of, what's this, remain. So these are the batteries. These are the computers that cannot be supplied. Yeah, so we have a bunch of computers that cannot be supplied. Okay. So for these computers that cannot be supplied, the ones can be supplied, I don't really worry. So this is the total battery needed. Yes, because this mid is the battery we need. And then the battery supply. Battery supply. The battery supply. The hell is that? Huh? Battery supply. Index -1 minus index minus remain -1. That's the battery supply. Battery extra. I don't understand. Battery extra plus battery supply is just equal to this. I say if this is larger than, then we can do it? What? That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Why? It basically says if I have enough battery, then it'll always work. How? Like in this case, n power 4. Battery needed. Oh, it does work. But why? Okay, it is very simple, right? I know how, but I just don't understand why it will work. Why it can always split. Basically, this is telling me that ignoring the ones that does work, right? Now the ones does not work. Basically saying, given me n laptop and however m batteries, as long as the total sum of the batteries is larger or equal to the needs of those n laptops, we can always find a way. Prove it. We need to prove this. Like, why? Yeah, that's the problem. I don't know why. This is greedy, right? You're saying that it always work, but why does it always work? Why you can always split some batteries to supply the other ones? Why? What if it's the same numbers we know, right? But if it's not the same, we just have a little bit more. And yes, we can always supply. That's understandable. But what if we have very few? Okay, very few, and then they cannot fully supply. Then what? And we know that it's enough, right? The remaining is enough. So the remaining, we have enough juice in the remaining batteries, but each one is not enough. So for each one, I can supply. I can just pick whichever, right, I supply, and I can swap them out, swap them out. I can swap in and out, in and out, in and out. Whenever one is done, right, I can swap another one in. It kind of makes sense, right? It kind of makes sense. Why would it work? Because every minute, every unit time, I consume one from all of them, right? Every unit time, I consume one from all of them. Then, the next unit of time, I can swap around. Doesn't matter. I can swap someone in, and I will consume. And next minute, I can swap someone in, or swap someone out. I can do whatever I want every minute. So if that's the case, if I can always swap in and out, right? If I can always swap in and out, 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 and in. And everybody is in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Imagine every battery will go rounds, just right? The first round, second round, third round, right? Fourth round. So every battery can be used to the extreme. If you think this way, yes. if you think this way, every battery, so the goal is just let every battery to use to its extreme, right? That's it. That's what we want to do. Every battery, if we can use every battery to the extreme, right? If we can use every battery to the extreme, then we can say as long as the remaining battery charge is more than what's needed, and then it's good, right? And then it's good. So how do you use the remaining batteries, every one of them, to the extreme? But if you don't stand from the perspective of the laptop, if you stand from the perspective of the battery, if I am a battery, I want me to be used to the extreme. So I stuck to a laptop, I stuck to another laptop, I let this laptop use me up, I let the other top using me up. So at the end of the story, I will, like every battery wants to be used. So I use by this one, I use by this one, right? I use by this one, I use by this one, just everybody gets used. It's like every round, some battery gets used, right? And the next round, some other battery gets used. And next round, some other battery gets used, right? So we just keep swapping the batteries. At a certain point, some battery becomes 0, right? Or like say more battery becomes 0. Then if we have something left, we just swap it in. If we don't have, I don't have a good proof. I don't have a good proof. Do we have a proof? Did I write some proof for this? Yes. 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 As long as the remaining batteries in total can support. Assign the remaining batteries to the highest remaining computer swap with any battery that runs low. Computers don't die, and thus as long as the remaining batteries are up for the task of supplying the remaining computers. Weak argument. So you're saying we'll go for the highest, and whenever somebody is in danger, I swap them out. Whenever somebody is in danger, I swap them out. Somebody's in danger, I swap them out. Until I have nobody to swap. Oh. Thank you.
That was fast.
Oh my goodness, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? The max charge batteries can be thrown away and not be considered if it holds more charge than the high bound. The high bound is sum divided by this. If it can sustain, then we say we don't have to consider it. Yeah, it does make sense, right? It does make sense. If the high bound, current high bound, because the high bound is the sum divided by the total number, that's the high bound. So if the highest battery can sustain the high bound, then it can definitely sustain anything lower than that. Right? It can sustain anything lower than that. So we say, yeah, right? If it can sustain anything lower, so we say we don't have to consider this anymore. Each time a max charge battery is discarded, it will reduce the problem scope until the max charged battery cannot sustain the high bound. Until the max cannot sustain the high bound. Call. So these are the remaining batteries, right? That cannot sustain. Not wasting the sum of the remaining batteries. Yes, because you already said the remaining, like the sum of, as long as the sum of the batteries can sustain, then you just use that. Okay. I see that. How do we do this evenly distribution? Because this extra power, right? Because this extra power. How do we do this distribution? Yeah, this is easy. Yes. Mm-hmm. Every battery except the largest 4 to increase the total running time. Yeah, but the thing is, what if we only have one extra battery as a giant extra battery? How do you split? Like, how'd you do the split? This one's still correct. What about the next one? depend, like if you want to have one extra, how does that make sense, right? Well, you can say we will use this here and then we'll use this here. Swapping doesn't take any time. Oh, you're kidding me. You're telling me swapping does not take any time. You might assume that removing and inserting takes no time, which means, oh my god, I think I know. If swapping doesn't take any time, that means one battery, right, can just go through the whole thing, right? If I have two computers, okay, and one battery, let's say this one battery has the charge for 4 minutes, then this one battery can supply these two computers for 2 minutes, because I can supply the first one for 1 minute and I can swap to the second to do 1 minute. So that I can just swap back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Because swapping doesn't take any time. So I just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Like the first one, I get a little bit, I go to the second one, get a little bit, I get back. That's how I understand it. So, otherwise, how would it be possible, right? You're basically saying, if I have two computers, okay? If I have two computers and I have I have 1 and 4, and this is possible to get 3. Now I can even do 1 and 3, right? You're saying I have two computers. And I have batteries 1 and 3. So after I do 1, yeah, like how do you analyze it? I do 1, now I have 0 battery, right? This has 2. But in this 2 can be evenly split. So there will be 0 and 0, and that will be plus 1. So the answer will be 2. So the answer is 2. No, this answer is 1. No, so it's still not right. I'm still not understanding this. Because the answer is 1, it's not 2. Oh yeah, it is 1. But what if I add another 1? So we do 1, but I have 1 more left. It says if you have extra, then the extra can be evenly distributed. That's what it means. If you have extra. Why, if you have extra, you can easily evenly distribute? because the extra can come in. That in this scenario, both requires. How do the extra handle both? Hold on. I still don't understand. Couldn't be convinced even by my previous solution myself. It passed, but I need to understand. If this problem happens, I say in integer. I understand the solution, but I don't agree with it. Like I couldn't convince. I'm not convinced.
When did you do it last time?
2022, January, I think.
Or you're still playing?
And I solved it on my own because I can see it. Oh no, I didn't solve it on my own. I checked the hint. Still counts. Next. I am not convinced, man. I'm not convinced. Like in this case, I have both are down. I only have one extra. How does this one extra support both? Exactly. How does it support both? So maybe a scenario of 2, 2, 2, would that work? Right, 2 is extra. And we have 2 here and 2 here. Once we're done, we need to supply this to both. But we can supply to one, but the other one will be gone. So you're saying in this case, we can just supply back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Or in reality, I say we do 2, 1, 1. Okay, and then we supply here. So this will go down to 0. This remain, and then we'll do 1. And then we supply this to the other. So this becomes 0. This becomes 0. And this becomes 0. So we can do 3. We can always swap it in. Yes, swap it in to use it. So we don't even have to go down to the bottom. We just, we go down 1. And whenever we want to use it, we just swap in. Use it, take it out. Then we'll do another one. Swap in, take it out. In that case, that does make sense. Yeah, basically every minute, you just supply this to one of them. and to one of them. So that's how you evenly distribute all the extra to the remaining. And you have all the extras, you distribute all the extras. Makes sense now. Yeah, and the binary search will work. This one is not even binary search. This one is just sorting and prefix sum. Not to keep reading. I think I need to keep reading. Determined by this. By evenly splitting the remaining power. Yes. Example X-ray is large enough to support all batteries. And the remaining power should similarly be evenly distributed. Yes. And each battery, if we want to increase the running time, this we need to spend if we want to increase the running time to this, we need to spend this times as much power as this minus this. Yes. Because we go from the low to the high. Every time we want to increase to this one, we need to increment by however much, then we increment to this. And then we can do just however many times the difference. And if we can supply it, we're good. So the next one, if we can supply it, it's good. Until we hit a point where we don't have enough. Right, we don't have enough to supply. Then it's just gonna be the extra divided by n. So what's the last thing here? Yes. Yeah, that's true. So this one cannot be used. Yeah, this is actually pretty clear, right? So I think I'll try both. Alright, let's do binary search first. Fail mainly because I couldn't rationalize the I couldn't reason that as long as the remaining battery power is sufficient to supply the amount of battery needed, we can always distribute the remaining power evenly across all the laptops. Now, this even distribution can be thought of like this. We can let the n highest battery always support the laptops. The remaining batteries can pop in and out at any time while the main batteries are being used. Each time the remaining batteries go in and out, we get extra juice. Right, we get extra juice. Since this in and out can happen any number of times and does not cost any time, we can always evenly distribute the remaining powers. Now with this reasoning, we can easily devise a binary search scheme to solve this problem. Right, binary search. Well, batteries was sorted, right? And then we'll have low, high. Low is battery 0, high is and then we also have from collections, it tools, accumulate, bisect, import, bisect left. Right, then we say psum equal to list accumulate batteries, and this is going to be psum minus 1 divided by n. It's the highest we can get. Right, but usually with +1. While low smaller than high, mid equals to low plus high divided by 2. Right. Now we need to find where the mid are. So the one to the right is going to be good. So we say index equal to bisect left batteries. We'll search for mid. Right. Whatever index it is, from index to the end, we're good. Right. From index to the end, we're good. So we're only looking for from index to the front. So how many are they? Well, we need an n as well. So m equals lamp batteries. Okay. So we can say remaining laptop, right? Shall equal to, we have n laptop minus, we have m batteries minus index. Right? Index is pointing to the one that's have something larger equal to, right? So how many? Yeah, so these are m minus index, the number of batteries. M minus index is the number of laptops is the number of batteries, right? Batteries can supply mid minutes without having to use any help. Okay. So of course, if remaining laptop is smaller or equal to 0, that means we're good. So we can move it up. So we say low shall equal to mid plus 1. Else, then we have some remaining to go through, right? So we have, there are some laptops require additional help. So we just need to find what's the total battery power of the additional help. And we have the index, right? So index minus 1. So we need to know the requires. So require equal to remaining laptop times mid. This is the require. And the supply is equal to what? Supply is p sum index minus 1, right? Then we say if p sum this is larger or equal to remaining laptop times mid, now we can do elif remaining laptops can be fully assisted by the other batteries. Low equals mid plus 1. Else high equals to mid. Then we can put one here if this or no laptop needs assistance, or okay, so we do that and then we return when I get out. So low equals mid minus 1 because currently is good and mid minus 1 is bad, so probably low minus 1 is what we want to return. think this is solution number 1. Log login. On log n. Actually, we will sort battery, so om log m plus log m. There's no n. So yeah, the om log m. Plus, well, I'm going to say plus n, because we have this. No, that's still m. Yeah, we don't do any n. Huh. Interesting. So that's solution 1. Okay. Solution 2. So this is from the official solution. All right. After sorting batteries, okay, we can again, after sorting batteries, we again assign the highest end batteries to the laptops. Okay. Then for laptop 0, to allow laptop 0 to reach laptop 1's runtime. Runtime of to reach, we need help from the extras, right? Extras. The remaining batteries, and the amount needed is extra is laptop 1 minus, it's actually batteries. Oh, okay, just use I, bat I to reach batteries I plus 1. We need help from batteries to I, right? And the amount that's needed is laptop I minus I plus 1 minus, not laptop, batteries I plus 1 minus batteries I, right, minus battery I, times total number of laptops up to batteries I. If we can supply, then we supply it, right? If we can supply it, we do so, and then move on to the next to reaching batteries I plus 2. If we cannot supply it, we simply use up the remaining batteries. Yeah, so we use up the remaining batteries. We never have to worry about the batteries, no, the laptops with higher juice in battery, because we are gradually approaching their levels. Yeah, we're gradually approaching their levels. which means whatever level we get eventually, those laptops with higher batteries will always be able to handle. So again, batteries were sorted, right? And then we'll say low is equal to now, and also M equals line batteries, M minus N, right? Yeah, low is equal to N minus N. And then we are going to say an count. Count is going to be 0. Then I don't need low. We can just say for I in range M minus N. So we're going to start from M minus N, starting from here, right? And then try to move to the next one. Try to move to the next one. So we start from here all the way to M, but we don't go to M. Okay. Now, I want to move to I plus 1, right? So we say diff is equal to batteries I plus 1 minus batteries I. Okay. Required shall be diff times the total number that needs to reach there. So the total number shall be I plus 1 minus M minus N, right? I plus 1 is this position, starting is this position. So and the minus 1, that's the total number, right? That's the total number and you require. Then we just say, oh, and extra shall equal to sum batteries all the way to M minus N. Right, as to M minus N. Because M minus N is that index. Yeah, so all the way to M minus N. So this is the extra. So we say if extra is larger or equal to the required, then extra minus equal to required. Else, if extra is not larger or equal to require, which means in the current step we cannot move up to I plus 1. So we're going to return batteries I, right? Then we can actually break. Then we just return batteries I, whatever I have right now, and then plus whatever extra divided by the current I minus M minus N. Probably need the plus 1. Probably need the plus 1. Okay, is this one right? Nope. Okay, something is not right. Yeah, extra is 3, right? Extra is 3. Diff I is 1, so from 1. Okay. And diff is gonna be 0. Yeah. So require is 0, extra is 3. 3 is larger or equal to require. So yeah, extra minus equal to require. Basically extra is still. And then I jump out. When I jump out, I is I equal to m minus n. There we go. There we go. So what we need is to have the last one really hit it. Diff only uses once, so I can just do it this. Or I can say if extra is smaller than, I break. Otherwise, I do this. Plus m. So yeah. Wow, 2 hours today, huh? Oh, this one's fast. Alright, that'll be it. It's a bad one today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Adios.